Welcome to a special episode of Gaming with Wolves, where we delve into our top 10 Super Nintendo games of all time. The SNES, in my mind, is the greatest console ever made. While its Mode 7 capabilities helped sprinkle a little technological magic into the mix, it was its astounding colour palette, Sony-designed SSMP sound chip, and a range of stellar games whose sheer variety and quality is unrivaled to this day. Let's do this. Before we start, here are some honourable mentions. Shadowrun is a wicked cyberpunk noir detective story with some neat hacking puzzle elements and great atmospheric touches. It was an odd duck which didn't fit neatly into any particular genre, which is probably why it didn't garner more attention. A brilliant game nonetheless. Zombies Ate My Neighbours, a great homage to horror films of the golden era. Brains. With cool arcadey gameplay and colourful cartoon-styled graphics. Best at 2 players. Soul Blazer is an RPG action game akin to Zelda. It has an ethereal quality to it and gets deep under your skin. A beautiful, dreamy journey. Pilot Wings is a very unique flying sim with a lot of variety in its gameplay and a great showcase for the Super Famicom's Mode 7 capabilities. If you're not familiar with Mode 7, White Pointer Gamer did a terrific video on it, link in the description. Turtles in Time is perhaps even better than the famous TMNT arcade beat-em-up, with some of the best graphics and gameplay the system has to offer. Great cover art too, especially the Japanese version. This is also best at 2 players. So, with that out of the way, let's dive into the top 10. Number 10, Super Mario World. This was one of the launch titles I remember getting really excited about, poring over all the pictures in CVG and Mean Machines. Not only did it utilise the Super Famicom's luscious colour palette with its hyper-stylised graphics, it also perhaps was the most finely tuned platform the series had to offer in terms of mechanisms. The many secrets and multiple paths to victory almost feel sandboxy and open world in nature. Perhaps the most Mario-looking Mario game ever made, if you know what I mean. I remember being perplexed by CVG's 96% rating. While this may sound high, they had rated Mario 3 on the NES and 98% only months previous. Oh well, at least it beat Sonic the Hedgehog's 92%. Number 9, Contra Spirits. Pure dystopian run and gun carnage at its finest on display here. I even enjoy the vertigo-inducing top-down Mode 7 levels, which can be divisive. The bosses are so well drawn and it controls and plays so smoothly. I almost feel mad at myself for putting it so low. This could have been higher if not for the fact it was my friend's game back in the day, so I didn't get to play it as much as my other games. Speaking of friends borrowing stuff, I still haven't got my VHS of a Rutsuki Doji from my friend back in the early 90s. On second thoughts, number 8, Goemon, Legend of the Mystical Ninja. This hidden gem doesn't get talked about nearly enough nowadays, and I can't for the life of me understand why.
I'm your worst secret agent ninja nightmare.
Look at them jiggle, look at them wiggle.
It masterfully blends different genres like a perfectly prepared bento box. The graphics are glorious with their hyper colour schemes and detailed anime style sprites and backgrounds. Throw coins and shuriken at ninjas and other enemies in a sort of run and gun meets beat 'em up fashion. Enter shops to get a wild array of perks, anything from simple armour to food to dojos that train you to summon spirit animals such as the mountable folklore tigers that grant you magical powers. There are also a wide variety of mini-games on offer, such as a 3D maze, a game show, whack-a-mole, pachinko, even a fully playable version of Gradius. I used to daydream about a whole different game being hidden within another game as a kid. Goemon made that dream come true. The interaction with 2 players is also interesting. Not only can you fight separately side by side, you can also jump on each other's back and
Goofiest piggyback ride ever filmed in
They
cinema
made them
history.
look so stupid.
do a little run and gun that way. Ninjas are due a comeback. They'll always be cool in my book. Hey, yeah. Area 88, or UN Squadron in the West. This is my favourite shmup of all time. The anime cutscenes are spectacular. And I love how it shows a little picture of the pilot's face just above the main screen, with their expression changing based on how much damage they've sustained. This is a hard game, make no bones about it, but it's not impossible. The levels are varied and the bosses are awesomely designed, both graphically and in terms of their attack patterns. The only thing holding this one back is the lack of 2-player option, otherwise it would be higher. Still a stone cold classic in anyone's book. A game about being stuck in a dogfight with swaths of enemies pouring out of every corner. Basically a Friday Night in Wolves then. Number 6, Street Fighter 2. I remember cajoling my poor dad into buying me a copy of the Super Famicom version from my favourite grey import shop back in the day, Console Concepts. I remember to this day it was on a shelf of the top 10 selling games of that week, with a huge neon coloured star-shaped cutout with the eye-watering price of £95. That's £236 in today's money. What a legendary game. I remember back in 91 sneaking uptown with my friends on our bikes when we were 11.
Good night, ladies.
Kiss your mom night for me.
To go to the Silver Machine arcade in Wolverhampton. There was a bunch of older guys in their 20s huddled around an arcade cabinet. They were lamenting the fact everyone was cheesing and button bashing their way through the matches without using any special moves. I didn't quite know how to do a Hadouken at the time, but I knew if I spun the joystick around enough, one would pop out eventually. This was when it had first emerged in the arcades and special moves were still foreign concepts. Even though it's quite a rowdy crowd, they let me through very kindly. Of course, I selected Ryu. Let's see if the man knows how to play Ryu. If he does, you're dead, exclaimed one of the older guys. I tried my best to pull off a Hadouken and to my shock, it came out. The man does know how to play Ryu, he said. I went on to lose the match, but you know, you can't have everything. Down R, up L, Y, B, X, A. If you know, you know. Number 5, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. There's a mythical air about the difficulty of this one. Many can't even make it past the first level, but there's no denying the game plays and looks absolutely stunning and is arguably the best of the series. I remember on a trip to Console Concepts picking up this and Super Castlevania 4 on the same day. My friend picked up Contra Spirits and Super Smash TV, probably the greatest picks in history of the earth ever. To this day, I still can't decide who had the better haul, me or my friend. Comment below who you think it was. Number 4, Super Castlevania 4. This game is simply dripping with atmosphere and gothic aesthetics. The music is so strange and very cool. One of the greatest soundtracks of all time, driven by the superb SSMP Sony sound chip with its eargasmic simultaneous 8 voice channels in full swing. I remember being impressed with the level of control you have with the whip, which you can launch in every direction and even let it lie limp for an even more intricate level of control. It reminded me of Vampire Hunter D back in the day. This was before the famous Netflix TV show of Castlevania. Long live Simon Belmont. Number 3, Secret of Mana. I remember ordering this one via mail order, which seemed to take an age to arrive. I still remember my mom arriving to pick me up from school in her grey Metro, only to hand the package to a wide-eyed 11-year-old. My imagination was set ablaze when I popped it into my console, as I stepped into a world of RDL. The music had an ethereal quality to it, which transported me to another place, perhaps my favourite OST of all time, along with Final Fantasy VII. The first time I unlocked Flammy the Dragon was a similar feeling to getting the airship in Final Fantasy VII. I felt a sense of freedom and excitement as I explored the regions of the map previously off bounds. The possibilities seemed endless. A beautiful magical game that greatly inspires me to this day, except for the mushroom people, they're just weird. Number 2, Final Fight. When I first got my Super Famicom, Final Fight was one of the 2 games I first owned. There was a phrase bandied around gaming magazines at the time of this game or that being arcade perfect, when in reality a lot of them missed the mark. This iteration was, save for a few missing levels and only being single player, literally arcade perfect, from the thundering bass heavy soundtrack to the Neo Geo level graphics. It kind of gives you synthwave vibes. I can still hear those meaty thuds of bodies hitting tarmac through my Sony Trinitron TV. An awesome experience and memories I'll cherish forever. A lot of people cite Streets of Rage as their favourite beat-em-up series. For me, this is it. There is no equal. The character designs are so iconic, Poison is still cosplayed regularly to this day.
Scale of 1 to 10, how sexy do I look in this outfit?
Oh, 10.
10? What? 10 was the lowest in that scale.
Oh.
The game was simple on the surface, with its punch, 3 flying attacks, a throw and a special move, yet taking the time to get to know its intricacies revealed a much deeper level of strategy, especially in the final levels. As much as I love this game, I could never complete it. Returning to it some 35 years later, wow, that sounds old, I can now beat the game. I may do an in-depth video on it, so stay tuned for that. Playing this game today is just as exciting as it was back then. It transports you. I love the look, the sound, and the overall feel. I love when game companies release games with the word final in the title, only to go on to release a plethora of sequels. Number 1, Zelda: A Link to the Past. I'm sure the reviewers of CVG, who gave this game a measly 89%, sporadically get pings of embarrassment from time to time. What can I say about this game that hasn't been said ad nauseum? A perfectly crafted game with immaculate gameplay and an OST so intoxicating it's still played by orchestras to this day. The concept of light world and dark world was possibly an inspiration for the Upside Down in Stranger Things. The idea that the normal world in which you currently roam has a darker, more dilapidated alter ego with mysterious secrets is a stroke of sheer genius and so intoxicatingly intriguing as a concept. I wonder if we slipped into the dark world somewhere around the year 2020. That would explain a lot. So there you have it, the definitive top 10 Super Famicom games list of all time. In fact, it's so definitive there's no need to watch another list. May as well just get those games and call it a day. Oh, and if you get tired of my favourites, there's always Dave's to stick on a rainy day if you've got nothing better to do. Until next time, Wolfheads. Oh!